Today on What It's Like, 1952 Ford Custom Line Club Coupe, enter overhead valve straight six. But before getting into all of it, I'm Jay. Welcome to What It's Like. This channel, we dive in deep on cars off the beaten path and lost in the shuffle. We cover the classics, vintage, some exotics, lots of orphan cars, and cars off the beaten path. If that sounds like a channel that you will totally dig, subscribe and hit the bell icon next to it to never miss a video. Be sure to stick around for the end because there's the Name That Tune segment and scenes to our next episodes. Seriously, when was the last time you saw a nice 52 Ford Custom Line like this? This is honestly the first time that I've ever seen a 52 Ford Custom Line outside of pictures, of course. This 52 Custom Line is for sale at Classic Auto Mall. For more information, pricing, pictures, be sure to click the link below. After the show, 1952 Ford was broken down into three model lines. Main line was in the basement, Custom Line in the center, Crest Line at the top. The Sunliner was the convertible for the Crest Line, and Victoria was the hardtop. Ford did offer wagons in all three trims as well as a truck line. Ford offered the Custom Line from 1952 to 1956, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56 in two generations. 1952 falls in the first generation, and it had a production run from 52 to 54. Going back to 1951, Ford, just to show you how much of a redesign this was. It was totally redesigned for 52. Starting in the front, Ford goes back to the single bullet in the front with all new bumpers and grille, big round running lights underneath the headlights. The sides of this car have more lines instead of the smooth slab styling found on the 51 Ford. The front wheel arches are slightly flared, and my favorite design element is the Airstream slash section, which leads your eyes to the tail section with the little round lights. And I know a lot of people like the 49 Ford, but this is my favorite early 50s Ford design. The lines are just so clean, and the styling is just so nice. Let's talk options and features. These were the standard features found on the Custom Line: two sun visors, full circle horn ring with special button in the center, bright work around the bottom of the windshield, two interior lights which were operated by the doors, plus there was a mounted control switch to operate the lights if you wanted to turn the lights on and off while the doors were closed, bright side trim, side armrest, front and rear ashtrays, cigarette lighter, stem wound clock, pebble grain rubber mat to harmonize color. The options included, but not limited to, bumper guards both in front and back, turn signals, Ford Magic Air, seat covers, backup lights, spotlights, tire chains, rear speaker, radio, windshield washer. 1952 Ford Custom Line could be had in four body styles: two-door sedan, four-door sedan, four-door country sedan wagon, or the two-door Club Coupe. The Ford Custom Line competed with the Chevy Style Line, Plymouth, Cambridge, Nash, Rambler, Custom Country. Which one out of these four would you pick? I would probably go with the Nash Rambler Country, in my opinion, but the Ford is definitely nice as well. Let's talk specs. 197.8 inches long, 73.9 inches wide. It rides a wheelbase of 115 inches. It weighs 3,070 pounds. Price $1,700, which is equivalent to you spending $19,039.81 in the year 2023. Total 1952 Ford production was 972,792 units. Total Custom Line was 402,542 units. Total Club Coupe, and for whatever reason, this figure is only for the V8 cars, 26,550. So at the very least, you know that it's no less than that number because you have to include the straight six as well, and that wasn't included in this figure. If you like this video and you dig this channel, please hit that like button so more people can see this video in the future. Moving on to engines. Two engines on offer for 1952, and 52 was a big year for Ford. Ford would offer the first overhead valve engine, which was on their all-new Mileage Maker 6, new and improved with high compression, and full flow oil filter, starting with the Mileage Maker 6, 215 cubic inch displacement overhead valve, straight 6, 3.5 liters. It makes 101 horsepower, 3,500 RPM, 185 pound-feet of torque at 1,300 RPM. Bore is 3.6 inches. Stroke is the same, 3.6 inches. Compression 7-to-1. When mated to a 3-speed manual transmission, 0 to 60 could be had 17.3 seconds. Theoretical top speed 80 miles per hour. Average fuel consumption is 14.5 miles to the gallon. And these figures may vary depending on rear end ratio because there was different rear end ratio options. Moving to the second engine option, 239 cubic inch displacement Strato flathead V8, 3.9 liters, 110 horsepower, 3,800 RPM, 194 pound-feet of torque at 1,900 RPM, bore of 3.2 inches and a stroke of 3.8 inches, compression 7.2-to-1. When mated to a 3-speed manual transmission, 0 to 60 could be had in 15.5 seconds. Theoretical top speed 85 miles per hour, 14.4 miles to the gallon. 3 transmissions on offer. Conventional drive, which was a 3-speed manual. Overdrive, which was a 3-speed manual plus overdrive. Or the Ford-O-Matic, which was their automatic transmission offering. Let's talk styling. This thing is styled so nice. Just look at all the lines. They're all very clean lines too. Look, Ford has fender bulges. Check out this. I guess you could call this a gravel guard. Just check out how circular this is coming back here to this rear fin section. It's a fin without being a fin. It's a protrusion rather. It's not pointy. But I love the way that this bumper just wraps around it. I'm not entirely sure I like this overrider bar back here though. Looks nice though. Okay, doing this a little bit different because this car's parked really close to this other car and I don't want to hit it. So this is what the door panel looks like. It's got painted steel at the top here. This feels like a cloth material, very in unison, very in line with the cloth material side, the same material the seats are made out of. Down here is more of a vinyl material. Armrest as well as door handle to pull the door shut. This is the door handle to get out. This is the window crank for the big window. And that's how it operates. And the vent windows open up like this. And they open up all of the way. Nice quality shut. Here is what the over the hood impression looks like, and it looks absolutely incredible from behind the steering wheel of this car. Even though this is only a Ford, it's got nice contour lines everywhere. The steering wheel is huge. Here's first person. The steering wheel is huge, but it's thin, and the horn ring goes the whole way around it. Lots of space underneath the steering wheel. Any size person could probably fit in this car. No issues at all there. On to the button switches and knobs, starting on the left and moving right. Wipers, lights, ignition, driver's side air vent. Now notice this binnacle and or instrument panel. It's one of my favorite Ford instrument clusters. I absolutely love how the gauges, how the font is. At the bottom left-hand corner, that is the left turn signal indicator. The right turn signal indicator is the bottom right-hand corner. Notice the oil pressure, gas gauge, water temperature, and amp meter are in an arch formation. The speedometer silhouettes that arch formation. Odometer at the bottom. Drive modes read, park, reverse, neutral, drive, low. Interior lights, lighter, fan or blower motor, choke, radio. Clock is located right above the radio. Located just underneath the choke is the heat and ventilation controls. The top lever controls temperature, the bottom lever controls air. Up above, sun visors. They're a bit on the slender side, but they're nice. They're made of nice material. Sun visor for the passenger as well. It's got a nice mirror. It almost looks like a daytime, nighttime mirror, but it's not. That would be a really rare option, I would think. Ashtray. Getting into the back seat, just slide the seat forward like that. Notice how much it pivots out of the way. Tons of knee space. Actually, the back of the chair here, the back of the seat is actually more further back than the top of the seat because the top protrudes over it a little bit. Nice handle to hold on to on both sides, as well as a light on both sides. There isn't any coat hooks though. And because the lights are on the sides, there isn't a dome light in the center. But you do have nice armrests. The windows do go down back here. And they go almost all the way down. Not quite, but almost all the way down. This is what the active front view looks like. This is what it looks like outside the rear window. Notice it's a wraparound windshield back here. Rear piece of glass. Nice shelf. Coming to the under the hood section. Out here, push up on it like that. There's a secondary catch, which is right here. You push in on it. Oh man, look at that gorgeous engine. Flathead V8. Notice how it sits way down inside the chassis. It's got a 6-volt battery, still 6-volt system. This is all the heating stuff. Generator sits on top, air cleaner. The horns are mounted up on the hood. Notice the oil filter. It's inside that. Also, I've mentioned this time and time again, but Flathead V8 has 2 water pumps. That's what that is on this side. And there's another water pump over here on this side. On to the pros and cons. We generally get all of the pros and cons from the complete book of collectible cars. Unfortunately, this car, shocker, isn't in there. It really should be titled something different because it isn't the complete book of collectible cars. Anyway, so I'm getting the pros and cons from my own personal experience. Styled so nicely. Can't go wrong with either engine. Button switches and knobs. Overall interior is nice. I love the center binnacle and or instrument panel. Tons of space for the size of the car. Cons, rust prone, and they are getting harder to find clean original ones. All right, time for Name That Tune. First person to give me both the correct name of the band as well as song title. Both correctly. First one to do so will have their comment pinned to the top of the comment section. I know I should have picked a song from the time period, but that song and the vibe of this car are the same vibe. I hope somebody gets it. It is a deep dive. It's an 80s song. Anyway, thank you all so much for coming out and watching this. If you'd like to get in touch with me, shoot me a comment in the comment section below or check out our Facebook group. The link will be in the description. So if I catch you on here or on Facebook, just know I appreciate all of the support. And until next time, a-pop-a-pop-a-doodle-oo! Oh wait, hold on a second. Here's some previews for our next episode. 1952 Crosley Farm O Road, which is a weird Jeep-like vehicle that was offered by Crosley. That's what's coming up next on What It's Like. And until that time, toodaloo!